ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
UC San Diego students getting ready to return to campus today as some in-person learning resumes. A look at the school's detailed plan to keep students and staff safe this semester. As health officials work to increase vaccinations across the country, they are now looking to speed things up. The plan to cut one vaccine's double doses in half. Some more financial help coming to small businesses impacted by the pandemic. The push today by local leaders to make sure business owners get the help they need. It's 6 a.m. Monday morning, the 4th day of January 2021. Welcome, you guys. I'm Virginia Cha. Let's check in with Vanessa Paz, who's in for Megan this morning. You got the first Monday forecast of the new year, Vanessa.
I did, and I had the last day of 2020. So not only did Megan leave me with those days, but she left me with a fair forecast to let you know about. We are once again spoiled as we head into the first work week of 2021. As we give you a live look right now, we're still waiting for that sun to rise. And it's pretty clear, though, and rather chilly outside as of last check, mid-60s in the Mission Bay area with a wind out of the north, pretty calm right now. Visibility in really good shape, too. It is improving as we get through the morning here. 6.3, though, miles of visibility in spots like Escondido along the 15. So keep that in mind. Those are the only problem spots as far as fog goes that I'm tracking. And wind gusts are relatively calm. They're onshore right now. We will see the transition of them move from out of the east as we look ahead to the weekend. But as of right now, we're in really good shape. We'll top out in the lower 60s along the coastline today, mid 60s through those inland neighborhoods. And I'll let you know about a surf advisory we have in effect also that has been extended. That's all ahead in just a few minutes. Virginia. And as we take a look at some of those roadways, here's a look at the 8 westbound just at the 15, where of course traffic running pretty smooth. As we zoom into the North County area, we are going at speeds of about 60 to 73 miles per hour on those southbound drives out of Carlsbad and the Escondido area. Other drive times, especially out of the South Bay, in really good shape, not seeing any trouble there. It'll take you about 7 minutes to get from the 125 to the 5 interchange if you're headed on the 94 westbound. About 12 minutes from Main Street all the way to the Mission Valley area, and drive times out of Santee right now, it's under 10 minutes to get you to the 15 split. Virginia.
All right, Vanessa, we'll check back with you for an update in a few minutes. As we continue to keep an eye on ICU capacity and the rollout of COVID vaccines in this county, UC San Diego is about to undergo a major test. The university kicking off the winter quarter with some in-person learning. They're trying to make sure students and staff stay safe in the process. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie joins us live from UCSD in La Jolla this morning with a look at the school's detailed plan. And Mary, that also includes outdoor classrooms.
Good morning. It sure does, Virginia. Intense. It's a small number of classes that will be held in person here at UCSD with this winter quarter just beginning today. It's about 10% of those courses. On-site students and employees expected to conduct symptom and exposure screenings each day. There is an online portal for them to do that. They'll also have to participate in free weekly testing. But on-campus undergraduate housing, too, it's remaining at single occupancy for this winter quarter. And many who have been doing remote learning and teaching and working for that matter, if they're doing it now, likely they will continue doing so through the end of May. So again, this is a small number of classes that will be taught in person. The move-in process has been staggered also over several days. Once again, housing here still at single occupancy. And students will be tested as they come back to campus, and then also many of them will be tested 5 and then 10 days later as well. One thing making these strict testing requirements easier will be new vending machines, which have self-administering testing kits. So students and staff can come and grab those to test themselves. Many of them have been making appointments previously to have tests done by a nurse. Eventually, they're hoping these machines could replace that whole setup. Right now, there are 11 of them. Most of them are located near student residence halls.
The vending machine is way more accessible, and especially like if you have something to do and it's like, you have like 5 minutes to go do something, like come right here and get it.
So essentially they go grab a free test kit, they swab for themselves, and then they have to send that in within 72 hours, the results coming back within just a couple of days. We're live at UCSD this morning. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Mary. The FDA is meeting this week to consider giving half doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine as officials look for ways to speed up the vaccination process. They say more than 4 million people in the U.S. have received their first doses of a COVID-19 vaccine, but that is short of the 20 million vaccinations the federal government had promised by December 2020. The U.S. vaccine chief says administering half doses of Moderna's vaccine to people under age 55 could make it available to twice as many people. Experts say clinical data shows the vaccine can be just as effective at half doses in that age group, but the chief also says there's no word yet on whether a half dose will work with Pfizer's vaccine. And meanwhile, this morning, Britain administering the first doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. An 82-year-old dialysis patient, the first to receive it. Now, doses of this vaccine were approved by regulators in the UK on December 30th. It'll be given to people at a small number of hospitals over the first few days. This is coming less than a month after Britain started using the Pfizer vaccine to inoculate healthcare workers and nursing home residents and staff. The AstraZeneca vaccine will be cheaper and easier to use because it does not require the super cold storage needed by the Pfizer vaccine. Now to the latest coronavirus numbers in San Diego County. You can see more than 3,500 new cases reported yesterday. That brings our total to more than 168,000. No new deaths reported yesterday, although that's not unusual. At this point, well over 1,500, almost 1,600 people in this county have lost their lives to COVID-19. Financial relief may soon be on the way for many local businesses impacted by the pandemic. And today, county leaders are ramping up their push to make sure San Diego business owners know how to take advantage of that money. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell joining us live from home. Marie, they just want to get the word out about this application deadline so people don't miss it.
And Virginia, the purpose of this news conference is to let business owners and nonprofit organizations know what they need to do to get in on the $500 million that the state is offering as a form of assistance. So this is going to come through as a form of grants that's available for, again, the small businesses and nonprofit organizations in San Diego County that have had to close or pause their operations because of this pandemic. And there are a number of requirements you need to meet, including already having a clear reopening plan once the state allows businesses to reopen. Now, after you meet the requirements, businesses will then be scored based on the industries that have been most impacted by the pandemic, the geographic location, and where they fall in terms of underserved small business groups. That's based on neighborhoods, if there's a military connection, or if they are run by minorities. The deadline to apply for this specific opportunity is January 8th. And coming up in 30 minutes, we'll look at the federal help that's available as part of the stimulus package. Again, this is for the small businesses and nonprofit organizations. Reporting from home, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Marie. Well, people have already started receiving money from the latest round of stimulus payments, and more checks are going out. The IRS estimates 113 million payments will be made through direct deposit. 34 million will be sent by mail. Now, those could come in the form of a paper check or a prepaid debit card. Many thought the debit cards were fake during the last round of stimulus payments, so people are being asked to pay close attention. The payments are dependent on your income listed on your last tax return. Most Americans will get $600. President Trump now suing Georgia's Secretary of State over released phone call recordings that allegedly capture the president pressuring the secretary to recount votes and overturn Joe Biden's win in that state.
And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
The hour-long phone call between President Trump and Georgia's Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger happened Saturday. Georgia's ballots have been counted 3 times. They have confirmed Biden's win, but the president repeated claims about election fraud without providing any evidence.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
That call comes as 140 House Republicans and at least a dozen senators say they plan to object to the Electoral College results and Biden's victory in Congress this Wednesday. Well, the pandemic means a change of plans for Joe Biden's inauguration. Members of the inaugural committee say there will be a virtual parade after Biden is sworn in to minimize crowds. And they're urging people not to travel to D.C. on January 20th, but rather watch the event on television. They say the virtual parade will celebrate American heroes and reflect on our nation's diversity and heritage. There will also be performances. Those will be announced later this week. So some new members of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors will take the oath of office today. That will happen in 3 separate virtual ceremonies that will be streamed on the county's website starting at 10 o'clock this morning. Supervisors-elect Nora Vargas, Joel Anderson, and Tara Lawson-Remer will be sworn in. The new board will hold its first regular meeting tomorrow with a Democratic majority. They are expected to pick a new chair, vice chair, and chair pro tem. All right, 6:10 on this Monday morning. Time to check in with Vanessa. We see the sun starting to come up and a beautiful one.
Oh yeah, and we are still seeing some low-level clouds in addition to that. But again, once the sun rises and those clouds subside, we are in store for a gorgeous first Monday of 2021. In the meantime, let's give you a look at that satellite and radar composite where you can see the rainstorm system just missed us. The Northern California area getting dumped right now in those mountain areas, and they are seeing plenty of rain as well. But for now, here in San Diego County, we are pretty dry for the most part and cold in addition to that. We are near freezing in spots like Warner Springs, Ramona, Julian. Will top out, or in comparison to the same time yesterday, we are warmer surprisingly, especially along the coast from La Jolla to downtown. We'll top out along the coast today and through those inland highs. We'll both top out in the lower to mid 60s and enjoy it because we are going to see some slight warming as we get towards the middle of the week. As we transition over to your roadways, here's a live look at the 78 at Nordal, just in the North County area. I am tracking a traffic hazard right now on the 15, just at the University exit. Reports of a stalled car there. In the meantime, the drive times from Carlsbad to Escondido, it'll take you about 68 to 69 miles per hour if you're headed southbound, either on the 5 or the 15. Out of the South Bay right now, traveling from Lemon Grove to National City will take you about 7 minutes from Chula Vista to the Mission Valley area. You're sitting under 15 minutes at last check. Virginia.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. A local woman riding out her quarantine in a Mission Valley hotel. She shares how employees are helping put a smile on her face even as she deals with loneliness. Jeopardy fans getting ready to see Alex Trebek as host one last time. The special tribute for the late host as his final episodes air this week. An amazing beach rescue caught on camera. The pro surfer who overcame 15-foot waves to save a woman being swept away.